welcome back to send them off, or should I say, howay? Because today is Newcastle. I love that. I enjoyed doing that one. No, I had that one planned. I've had that one planned.
Did you have that one planned?
Yep, about 2 weeks. I was going to do the accent, but I didn't. I thought better than to offend some.
No, you had to full send it. You should have full sent it.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. This makes hello look good.
Yeah, it does. Maybe next time. You've heard their voices already, but joining me as always is my ever-present podcasting partner, Alex. How you doing?
We're all right. We're all ready for Newcastle. We're up in the northeast, and of course, we've got our boy, not from the northeast. He's got ties up there. You heard him before with Chelsea. He's back again for Newcastle, Mr. TFE. How are you doing, my friend?
He's wearing the Newcastle colours.
He's wearing the Newcastle colours. The Italian Newcastle.
The right colour.
The Italian Newcastle. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. The more successful Newcastle. That's who we're supporting today.
Technically, the Italian Notts County, because that's where they got the colours from. Did you know that?
I didn't.
It did.
There we are.
That's where they nicked their colours from, Notts County. Anyway, where to start with Newcastle? Shall we start with new contract for Mr. Steve Bruce? I think I know how TFE feels about this, but
we know all the Newcastle fans feel about it, to be fair, but we'll get his opinion.
Full disclosure, I'm not an avid Newcastle fan. I don't watch every single game, but I'm from Newcastle and I used to watch a lot of their games, and I watched them this season not a lot because of that one man that you just spoke about, Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce, he's a decent manager for like League One or League Two. But for Newcastle, he's just not good enough. Obviously, he's the first manager that got who got like a big money signing in Joe Linton, 40 mil. I don't understand. I'm still not over the fact we brought in Steve Bruce and we spent big money, but the only thing Rafa Benitez wanted was big money. So you had a quality manager, you got rid of him for what? For Steve Bruce. I know he's kept Newcastle in the division for 2 seasons running, but mate, like cats only have 9 lives, and I think Steve Bruce is onto his bloody 10th by now. And if he stays in the job, he's gonna get Newcastle relegated really and truly. And I don't think the squad's up for it. There's not been much reinvestment. Alan Saint-Maximin, unless he has a massive season, it isn't really going to do the bits for me. And you're talking about a new contract for Steve Bruce, mate. What I think is just promote Graham Jones. I know he wasn't great at Luton, but get rid of Steve Bruce, promote Graham Jones, and hope that does the business, because the real reason Newcastle stayed in the division was because of him. So I think he deserves that chance to take Newcastle into the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's such an uninspiring squad.
Honestly, it is.
Like,
I don't know if it's uninspiring. I look at Ryan Fraser. I look at Jamal Lascelles. I look at even Callum Wilson. I do like Callum Wilson up front.
I'll allow you Wilson and Saint-Maximin maybe. But
no,
Saint-Maximin just for that Burnley game last year, that one game.
The defense isn't too bad either. Like, we got Fabian who was decent 2 years ago. I think it was the 2018-19 season or the 2019-20 season. It was good then. Paul Dummett is an okay defender, but it's just for me, I just think Newcastle are really stale. I just think Newcastle are really stale. It's always the same squad. There's no reinvestment. There's no getting rid of players, get rid of Deadwood, bringing in decent young players. There's been nothing happening this summer. And I think if Newcastle aren't busy in the last month of the transfer window, you could be seeing the Championship next season. That's what I think.
Is it that? Well, we know who it's down to. It's down to Mr. Mike Ashley. But what's the score there? Does anyone know anything? I just feel when I talk about Newcastle, I just feel a bit you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a bit
I'm exactly
100%.
the same. I'm exactly the same. It's just
that's no disrespect because they're a big club. Newcastle,
a brilliant club as well. Passionate fans.
Yeah, the fans love the club.
Yeah,
but when you talk about a club like New, it's a bit sort of what is there to talk about with them?
It's a club that's slowly slipping away from the fans.
Yeah, and it's because of Mike.
Almost.
It's because of Mike Ashley, and even Arsenal. We spoke to
Dennis.
Gosh, I forgot. Dennis, thank you for sparing me there. Shout out Dennis, how are you, mate? But we spoke to Dennis, and they were saying they got the same problem with the owners over at Arsenal and talking about the takeover and things like that. And I think Newcastle, they just need a big takeover themselves. Just need to get rid of Mike Ashley
for sure.
But the thing is, the only thing that I think is going to carry us next season is the fact that fans are back in the stadium. Because definitely Newcastle, one thing's for certain is we have a 12th man, and hopefully that can carry us through, because realistically, as a Newcastle fan, it's really depressing, just watching the club just fade away. But there are there are brilliant players in this squad. You got Callum Wilson, who if he scores goals, like everybody knows, if you're in a relegation battle, what you need is a goal scorer, and he for sure can score goals. I think last year he got like 10 or 11 goals. Well, I don't know how many got. He got 12 goals, yeah. So he's got some decent goals. Like if we can just make sure that we're winning games like 1-0, 2-0, and just keeping our head above water, like we're just staying afloat before this takeover happens. And you're right, like we really do need to take over, because regardless of the manager, like we're just lifting our head above water. But at some point, like you're going to go under, and you're going to go to the championship. Because I'm really worried for Newcastle that we could potentially become like Sunderland.
Yeah.
And I would hate that. I would hate for that to happen. But I don't think we've got much left in us if like we get rid of Alan Saint-Maximin and then we don't reinvest that in the squad properly. Like really and truly, like we could be screwed in the next couple of years, but hopefully not.
You mentioned the 1-0s and stuff. 7 clean sheets last year, which could be better, could be worse. But I think given a season where there was a lot of upheaval with the goalkeeper position last year, I mean, Dubravka was injured for a lot of the season. Carl Darlow stepped in. I thought he did pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah, it was good. Carl Darlow did well.
You've obviously got one of our own, Freddie Woodman, in next year.
He was never one of our own, but he was on loan to us, and I think he wanted to be one of our own. But
he did, yeah, I accepted him. Not all of the boys did.
Not all of our mates did they?
But I loved him personally.
Big up Garen.
Yeah, he's been on the podcast. We'll not drop him. He probably won't listen.
No.
I think he gives a toss about Newcastle.
No, in all honesty, he really doesn't.
He does. Not even the Newcastle owner gives a toss about Newcastle. So bloody Garen, yeah. Don't worry, you don't need to listen to this, because this is going to be a depressing episode.
I think though a 12th place finish is a lot higher than I actually thought Newcastle finished last year. I thought they finished 15th or 16th for some reason.
Yeah, because Newcastle have finished strong like last 2 seasons, I think. And it's like, it really papers over the cracks. It's like when Arsenal finished second, when Leicester won the league, like it just papers over the cracks. Like you've got to realize that the relegation teams are probably like the ones who are threatening are probably like 16th to 20th. But in reality, the fact that Newcastle are 12th, it's really 12th to 20th because like Newcastle for a certain amount of time, I think with like 8 games to go, I was having a talk to my Fulham friends. And they were saying, bro, it could go down to the last game of the season. And alhamdulillah, it didn't go down to that, but like it easily could have. It easily could have gone down to the last game of the season, but we pulled our socks up and we got away from the relegation zone and back up to 12th. But I just think we're going to get relegated one of these years, honestly. And no reinvestment this year, like, could happen again.
To be fair, I feel like Newcastle's situation now feels a little bit like echoes of Swansea's situation. I don't know about you, Al. The last few years where we were sort of in a bit of a scrap every year for a little bit, then we survived.
The signings weren't really...
Yeah. We gradually get into more and more of a scrap, and
then it got to a point where we were no longer better than the teams below us.
Yeah,
that's the case. What it's going to be with Newcastle for now. Newcastle are better than the teams around them, not by much, but just about. But you can't stay in the Premier League that way. You can't just say, well, as long as we're better than so and 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 so, we'll be all right. You can't. You've got to try and compete. You've got to try and be better than last season. I just don't see any ambition from Newcastle.
And from that point, like I have to. That's one thing that I have to commend Steve Bruce on, because even though I don't agree with how he plays football, I don't agree with like his results. His methods create results. Like we've at least stayed in the division. Like that's the minimum we need to do. And you're saying about Swansea, if I can remember, Swansea was quite like unstable towards their end of their Premier League like era. And at least now we've got like a stable manager who's proven he can keep us in the Premier League for a couple of years. But really for me, as like a half Newcastle fan, I want more. Like Newcastle, you're saying Newcastle are a big club, but we haven't really proved it for a very long time. And that comes down to the owner. But on the field, like we could bring in like a Frank Lampard or something. We could bring in like a manager who's going to like, Eddie Howe. We could bring in managers that inspire the fans. Like that's the minimum I would want, to be honest, because yes, we've proven we can stay in the division with this squad, but I want to be inspired. Like that's the minimum. That's how bad Newcastle have got. I just want to be inspired by this Newcastle team.
I think you
need
sort of nailed it.
Muniz back, don't you?
Yeah,
that's what you need.
Gavin Harris.
But you talk about being inspired. Like you want to have like a reason to go down the ground, because I don't want to keep talking about the Swans, but towards the end. It was a chore going down there. And I imagine, for a lot of Newcastle fans, going to St. James's Park should be, the highlight of the week. But a lot of them will think, I got a season ticket. I got to go because it's one of them things I got to do. I bought it, I might as well. It's an afternoon out. But they should be like, inspired to
Wanted
go.
to
They
go.
should be, looking forward to it. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like that's not the case with them.
I think at some point Newcastle will become that. Like, I don't know when, if that's going to be in 2 years, 10 years, 20 years. At some point, we're going to get that cauldron back. And like, as a person who's from Newcastle, like, I can't wait for that. Like, next season, I'm going to start going to Newcastle games because I'm in Newcastle now. I'm going to go start watching Newcastle games. So from a selfish point of view, I want to see us play inspiring football. I want to see the whole place just be like lit up, and that doesn't need to be like amazing football, but it just needs to be like general positivity around the club, and I don't see that. I don't see that, if I'm honest.
I think the only way that's going to come back is with the takeover, though. I think there's a lot of
I agree.
energy there with Mike Ashley at the moment. Same with us, really. I mean, it was triggered by our takeover, though. It was the opposite, really.
Because you say that, but it's like in my mind, I'm like, if we get like, it only takes like for example, Chelsea, Lampard, it was a bit depressing. You get in Tuchel, you win the Champions League, great positivity. So it's only like really a manager away. It can only be like one personnel away. But I know if say we bring in like Eddie Howe, play some good football, Mike Ashley's not going to be like, okay, cool, we're doing well, let's put more money in. He'll be like, okay, cool. That's the reason. That's the reason to take money out of the club.
We're okay as it is. Yeah,
so it's like a kind of a poison chalice. So it's like we're damned if we do well, we're damned if we don't do well. Yeah. So it's like as long as we have Mike Ashley in charge, I don't ever think there's going to be positivity around the club like there was before.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
it's all a little bit downbeat, this, isn't it?
100%, man.
And if we come to the summer business,
nobody in, as far as I know, anyway. Obviously lost Joe Willock as well, who was probably player of the season last year, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Which is another thing, perhaps a cause for concern. They were looking to bring him back in, weren't they? But it looks like he's going to stay at Arsenal, at least for the minute, anyway. I want to talk about the first 5 fixtures: West Ham, Villa, Southampton, United, Leeds. That is a tough old start. I think.
That's a bit of a kick in, to be honest with you.
I mean, I think it's on paper, like, who do you say? West Ham, Everton, Villa, United,
West Ham, Villa, Southampton, United, Leeds.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, they are pretty tough, but weirdly, like, Steve Bruce picks up results, so I have to give him credit for that. So on the face of it, depressing club, probably going to lose our first 5 games, but reality, we don't usually do that. We might lose the first 2, but then we'll weirdly beat like a Leeds and a United. Like, I don't think we'll beat United, but like we'll beat like a Leeds and then a Southampton. We'll be on 6 points after 5 games, which is decent.
That does seem to be the Newcastle way, doesn't it?
100%.
Like there is a negative feeling around the club, and everybody's a little bit like, well, Newcastle, I don't particularly rate them anymore. Like, they're not, the squad's not inspiring. But then it's what you said earlier. Steve Bruce, like him or lump him, does get results, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, like he's done it for a couple of years now. Like, I remember when he first came in, everyone was annoyed because we went from Rafa Benitez, amazing manager, to Steve Bruce. He lost his first 2 games and then he beat Tottenham away, and then he really went in on the Newcastle fans, being like, "Oh, you've been chatting all this like crap about me," and like, if I beat Tottenham in their own backyard with my £40 million striker, like, I don't want to hear anything from you. And he does kind of get these results. And they're few and far between, but like when you look at like last year, I didn't watch Newcastle too much, but when you look at the table, like, they'll just randomly just pick up a 2-0 or they'll win a 2-1 like on like a random weekend. So if you're betting, never bet on Newcastle because you don't know what they're going to come out with, if I'm honest.
Have you learned that lesson, Sam?
Ruined many an acca.
Thought so.
Yeah, stay away, man.
100%. We are running out of time because we've got another one that needs to do well.
We do.
So I think we should probably wrap up soon. But like I said earlier, 12th place finished. You've done it for Chelsea. Are you going to stick your neck on the line for Newcastle, where they're going to finish?
If I was going to stick my neck out on the line, the things that would have to go well is Callum Wilson to hit heavy numbers. Like, I'm saying more than what he got last year, like 12 to 15. I'm saying Joe Linton starts it at the 10 position. I'm saying Sam Maximin starts getting goals. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to put my neck out on the line, and I'll say they can do better than they did last year, and I'll say they finish 10th. I'll say they'll finish 10th.
Top
yeah.
half.
If they finish 10th or 11th, that's amazing. 12th to 15th is okay. But I'll say 10th.
Personally, I think it might be a little more gloomy.
Yeah, definitely. But we've got to be positive.
We've got to be positive. That season hasn't even started yet. Why not?
At least you got rid of Andy Carroll.
My friend's got a tattoo of him on his leg.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and Andy Carroll saw it and he bought him a beer. So
Oh,
shout
fair.
out Andy Carroll.
Was it
Lovely.
a beer? I bet it was a cheap one.
No,
Okay.
I think it was a Heineken. I think he bought him
Oh,
a
there we
Heineken.
are then. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Yeah.
And you know the drill now. We asked you on the last one. Star player to watch.
Okay.
Like hard in Newcastle, isn't it?
The star player, you know, I'm going to say they're going to bring in a player. It's either going to be Joe Willock or Curtis Jones. This is just absolutely based on nothing. So I'm going to go Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is going to come in and he's going to play amazing for
your
us.
Newcastle player to watch is a player
someone
that
who
doesn't play
for Newcastle.
I think it could happen. I definitely think it could happen. Yeah.
Do you know what?
I
like that.
Just full on FIFA career mode did that.
I just think
like it.
I think Curtis
I
Jones
rate the optimism.
would just be a good signing.
If that happens now, then you will be a certified football genius.
Honestly, but like on a real life, saying from the current Newcastle squad, I'm gonna say Callum Wilson. I think he's gonna score a lot of goals next season. I think he'll do bits. That's who I'm gonna go for.
I'm gonna stick with Curtis Jones myself. I like that.
Yeah, why not? No, why not?
Yeah, if Curtis Jones
maybe Steve Bruce is listening. You know,
if Curtis Jones comes to Newcastle, I want you to edit out the part where I said Callum Wilson. Just keep the
Curtis Jones.
Yeah. If Steve Bruce is watching. How's the bacon, Steve?
How's the bacon? Did you see?
That is my favorite football video of all time.
We quote it far too much.
Yeah, we do. Just all the time. How's the bacon? Did you see?
How's the bacon? Did you see?
Anyway, we'll stop harping on about bacon. TFE, thank you once again for joining us. It's been this is your hat trick. This is your hat trick.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's your third.
Congratulations! I've only just realised.
We can't give you a ball, unfortunately, but we can ask you on again.
Have one of them.
Yay!
One of them.
Come on.
No, we'll hopefully hear from you this season. You know, if you're willing.
Yeah, when Chelsea have won like the first 18 games in a row, and you're saying, "Yo, can you talk about Chelsea winning the Champions League and League?" I'll be like, "Yeah, of course, bro. Like, come on." Confident. I love how you said that on a Newcastle season.
On the Newcastle one, and Curtis
when
Jones
Newcastle
is just
won their first 18 games.
But yeah, thank you for joining. Do you once again want like a couple of moments to plug where people can find you?
Yeah, guys, if you don't know who I am, go check out the Football Explainer on TikTok and go watch my YouTube videos. There's only 2 on there, but by the time you watch it, there'll still be 2 on there. But they're good videos, so go watch them now. Thank you.
Beautiful. That was expertly
done. I love it so much. I love this guy so much. My mic's gone.
Thank you for joining us. Alex has knocked over his mic.
I've knocked my microphone. That's how happy I am.
He's that excited for tomorrow's preview, which is Leicester.
It's Leicester City.
One of the almost dark horses still for the league. I think they got quality. Who knows? Who knows what could happen this season? But anyway, thank you for joining us. It's been a fun one. This. We'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ra.
Take care.
Bye.